He was the most defiant black sailor in the U.S. Navy, and he actually had the audacity to challenge a naval officer to a breath-holding contest. As the water rose above their noses, the competition officially began. At 2 minutes and 50 seconds, both men's faces showed no signs of distress. At 3 minutes and 10 seconds, the soldiers watching started placing bets. When they hit the 4-minute mark, the instructor had reached his breaking point. Blood began trickling from his nostrils. The soldiers nearby, fearing for the instructor's safety, stepped in to end the competition. In the end, the black sailor Carl won the contest, but the commanding officer refused to accept this reality. Not only did he tear into the instructor, but he also ordered him to prevent Carl from taking the graduation exam. That evening, the instructor found Carl and urged him not to take tomorrow's graduation test. Even if he showed up, there was no way he'd pass, because the commander would never allow a black man to graduate from the academy. Carl was livid after hearing this, so furious that the instructor smashed Carl's radio right then and there. Then he picked up a photo of Carl's father and asked what his father had told him that made him fight so hard, before storming off. But the next day, Carl still showed up at the testing site. The graduation exam was straightforward. Just assemble components underwater to graduate from the academy. When Carl's turn came, the commander deliberately had someone slash open his tool bag and throw it into the ocean. All the parts scattered across the ocean floor, making it impossible for him to complete the task. But Carl didn't give up. This was his only shot at changing his fate. Time flew by quickly. After an hour, teammates started surfacing one by one. After 4 hours, even the worst performing teammate had finished the test. Only Carl remained, shivering from the cold, still searching for parts on the ocean floor. As evening fell, the seawater grew colder and colder. Carl had now been underwater for 9 hours. The freezing water made his hands shake uncontrollably. Seeing that Carl was about to freeze to death on the ocean floor, the instructor decided to disobey the commander's orders and told the students to pull Carl ashore. The commander roared threats at the instructor, saying he'd strip him of his rank if he dared pull Carl up. But at this moment, Carl had earned the respect of every single soldier. The soldiers completely ignored the commander's shouting and used every ounce of strength to try to pull Carl ashore. However, Carl refused to come up from underwater until he successfully completed the graduation test. Only then was he willing to return to shore. Even though he was frozen and pale as a sheet, Carl's eyes blazed with determination. Finally, the instructor announced that his performance was satisfactory, and Carl successfully graduated from diving school.